in this video, we're going to talk about how you can develop trust in relationships where trust might not be inherently present. So the best kind of relationship is a relationship where you share your values and your interests with someone. But sometimes that's not present in a relationship, and it's hard to sustain a relationship where you don't have shared values and interests, because that means that it would be hard to collaborate and cooperate. It would be hard to trust the other person, and in those cases, what you need to do is that you have to have a sense of empathy in the relationship. You have to communicate in a way that you're receptive towards the other person, and the other person is receptive towards what you have to say. And there has to be this feeling of being on the same team, and that's where most people face this problem. They don't know how to develop that feeling, how to create that feeling of being on the same team, and that's what we'll talk about in this video. So there's 3 points that I'm going to talk about. The first one is that you have to be an empathetic listener. You're attentive towards what they're saying and you understand what they're saying. The next point is honesty. Because when you're honest with someone, they know that they can trust you. And the third one is humility. We'll come back to communication, and the thing is that even if you don't share the other person's concerns and interests, even if they seem stupid to you, you should be willing to listen to them. You should be open enough to and curious enough to know what they're saying, why they're interested in that thing. And thing doesn't interest you, it's boring, you don't want to listen to it for long. But remember that it's not the thing in itself that's important to you. It's not the concern in itself, it's not the interest in itself that's important to you. It's the person that's important to you, and for their sake you should be willing to listen to them and to be interested in what they're interested in, and be concerned about what they're concerned about, and you have to take out time in your life for doing that. The next point, the second point, is honesty, and this is a very obvious one because you can't gain someone's trust if you're not honest. If you lie to them, at some point your lies will come to light, and then they would be careful the next time you need them to trust you, right? So honesty is a big one, of course. Even if you think that something might hurt the other person, say it, not in a way that would hurt them, of course. You have to dilute it a little bit, but you should say the truth. Just don't say it out of the blue. Just don't say it when you know that your opinion is not needed, right? Just don't say it for the sake of saying it. Say it if you know that it's necessary for them to know that, or if they've asked for your opinion. But don't go around hurting people that you love just because you want to be honest to them. So the last point is humility, and it's not very obvious how humility in relationships and trust is related. But the thing is that if you're humble enough to admit that you might be wrong, even when you know that, or not know, but even when you believe that you aren't, then that would signal that you're willing to find out the truth. You're not there to prove a point. You're not to prove someone wrong. You're there to find the truth with someone. So I think humility also plays a part in trust and in forming the basis of a strong relationship. If you incorporate these 3 things that I've mentioned, honesty, humility, and empathetic listening, then your communication obviously becomes better, your trust level becomes better, and then your relationships are far more meaningful, and they're stronger, and then it's hard to break them. Another point is that sometimes when you need to be honest with someone, the thing is that you can't really be very honest with someone if you haven't been nice to them before. It's like you're building a foundation first, right? And that's through being interested in what they're interested in, being honest, being humble, being nice towards them, and nice not for the sake of being nice, or because you're such a nice person, but because you love them and you want to care for them, right? And then once you've built that basis, after that you can be honest, after that you can tell them the truth, after that you can be straightforward. I don't think you should do that before you've built a kind of platform or a kind of foundation for your relationship to stand, even when adversity comes, even when you disagree on something. So build that foundation first through being empathetic towards them, and then of course arguments and disagreements are a part of every relationship, but they shouldn't be done without that sort of foundation, so that your relationship would sustain through adversity and arguments and disagreements.